family and friends and fellow YouTubers. It's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and today we are in Kerrville, Texas for another day. Today we are headed to the Lyndon B. Johnson National Historic Park. The park is located in Johnson City, Texas, but the visitor center is located in Stonewall, Texas. And we'll be going to the visitor center first and then doing a drive tour of the park. And so even though we're kind of stuck in Kerrville because of door issues, we are making the most of it by visiting some of the surrounding area. And today it is a National Historic Park Day. And so we'll actually get to make a mark in our passport books. And not that that's what this whole trip is about, but it's always fun to do that. Today I wore my Love Texas shirt, so in honor of LBJ. So alright, well, I'll catch you guys on down the road. Bye for now. Okay friends, so we have the Lyndon B. Johnson State and National Historical Park coming up in 1 mile. We are actually in Stonewall, Texas right now. There we go, Lyndon B. Johnson State and National Historic Park. Turning right here. Yep, there's the sign on that stone wall over there.
Pull over and get a picture. Want a picture?
Sure. That would be great. Okay, friends, so we are at the Lyndon B. Johnson State Park, and we're going to get ready to go in and take a tour. Okay friends, so here I am at the Lyndon B. Johnson State and National Historic Park, and we're getting ready to go in and take a tour. I wore my I Love Texas shirt in honor of LBJ. So, alright, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I know, I did too. Yep. Lyndon Baines Johnson State Park. Acquired 1967 during the second administration of Governor John B. Conley of the state of Texas, under the direction of the Parks and Wildlife Commission. Dedicated 1970 during the administration of Governor Preston Smith of the state of Texas, under the direction of the Parks and Wildlife Commission. There we go. Well friends, the sun did come out. So, and we are getting ready to head into the park now. We're going to stop at the visitor center, but this is basically a drive-through park. I don't know if I can zoom in on those cattle over there with the longhorns or not. Longhorn cattle over there. I'll have to mention that. Yeah.
And a Sauer.
So there's a sign over here. There's a sign right here that says Experience German Texan heritage. Visit the Sauer Beckman Living History Farm. And we're mentioning that because our grandma Beesman's maiden name was Sauer. So we have Sauers in the family. All right.
Apparently Sauer is a huge department store in Germany.
Oh, is it really?
So it must be a big family.
Yeah, big family name.
Let's hear and see what this says. I don't know.
Okay, friends, we are headed over here to the visitor center. We both have our passport books in hand so that we can get them stamped. Welcome to LBJ State Park and Historic Site. So over here's a map that shows the Lyndon B. Johnson State Park and Historic Site. Shows us where we're at. Right, it's located on the Pedernales River. Pedernales River. It says nestled along the Pedernales River, this day-use park honors Lyndon B. Johnson, a Texan who achieved the nation's highest office. What not to miss? The Visitor Center, the Sauer Beckman Living History Farm, which we'll definitely want to look at because our grandmother's maiden name was Sauer. Texas State Bison Herd, Texas Longhorns, the Don's Cabins, also has swimming pools, the Pedernales River, and the LBJ National Historic Park. Two parks. Both parks serve to honor President Lyndon B. Johnson, yet each has its own unique offerings. All right, so we are getting ready to head into the visitor center, but we're going to do a selfie. I'm going to do a selfie with my sister there in front of the sign, so I'll be back.
You're in the vehicle today, too. Two people.
I just need a zip code.
64468.
The line on this map represents the Pedernales River.
Okay.
Right now we're on this side, which is the state park, and across the river is the LBJ Ranch, which is the national park.
Okay,
And
cool.
that's where you'll get your passport book stamped.
Oh, okay.
You're just going to put this on the dashboard of your vehicle.
Okay.
I'll show you what state park.
Okay.
So right now you're here at our visitor complex. That
Okay.
includes our park store, headquarters. We have an exhibit hall there on the left. It's got storyboards and artifacts of early settlement of the hill country, as well as information on LBJ and Lady Bird Johnson.
Okay.
Past the exhibit hall, there's some cabins on display that were built back in the 1800s by German settlers.
Okay.
You can look through the windows to see how they decorated your home.
Okay.
Our living history farm is where you'll find our Park rangers and volunteers in period clothing from the early 1900s. They worked out there all day without running water, electricity, showing what life was like on a family farm over 100 years ago.
Our grandmother was a Sauer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then down from the farmers are American bison herd.
Okay, friends, so we just left the visitor center. Very nice visitor center, very nice park ranger, and there was a lot of helpful information, a lot of good detailed information. And now we're taking the drive tour, and it looks like the first thing is going to be the Sauer Beckman Living History Farm. So, and it's a good thing it's a driving tour because it's raining outside again. We had sunshine for a few minutes, just enough time to get in a few pictures, and which we're happy for that, but we're back down to rain. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the tour. A lot of the trees you're going to be seeing are pecan trees. They have like orchards of pecan trees down here. And they actually have signs that says pecan harvesting is prohibited. So they want to save the pecans for themselves. So we're actually in the LBJ Texas State Park. And then there's also the LBJ Historic Site. So that's what it's meant by 2 parks for 1 person. And like I said, we're kind of interested in the Sauer Beckman Living History Farm because our grandmother's Beastman's maiden name was Sauer. So. Whole hillside of prickly pear there. Look at this whole hillside of prickly pear, guys. So it did quit raining for a little bit. I do have a handy dandy umbrella just in case. So I am walking over here to the Sauer Beckman Living History Farm. Step back in time to experience German Texan farm life from 1915 to 1918. The Sauer Beckman Living History Farm. All right. Push this gate open. I think I'm the only one here besides Jody. Jody's will be coming soon. When we come to a park like this, we kind of each do our own thing. As for walking the animals, the mules and the horses. As you can see, they have the original wooden fencing. Even though it's rainy, it is pretty warm. actually have a garden growing over here. Windmill house. House over there. Barns over here. Inside, we have all the tools hanging up for display. Grindstones. Over on this side is where the livestock is kept. You can see the feeding troughs. Cool barn. Lyndon B. Johnson State Park and Historic Site, Stonewall, Texas. So all of this is part of that Sauer Beckman Historic Farm. All right, I'm going to go in and take a look. So they do say that most of the house is open. There's just one room that they kind of use for living quarters that they prefer you not to go into. But the rest of the rooms are opened. So here's their front porch. Little herb garden. Oh, our mom has some of those.
Oh, that was in decent shape. You just seen it one time. They just had
Blue willow dishes.
yes.
Half the stuff in there.
You folks doing okay today?
Yes, we are. Thank
Good.
you.
Oh,
We're enjoying the site.
yeah, good. Yeah, we're enjoying a little bit of rain that we got. So
Yep.
we're
Our
excited.
mom had some of this blue willow dishes.
I think
So
that was really common.
yes, very common.
And you know, every country also has a different
Pattern.
different patterns too.
Yes. Our grandma's maiden name was Sauer.
Oh, really?
But-
Where from?
Brazil, Missouri
Oh, okay.
is where she lived. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Maybe you were from around. I thought you might be from around here.
so quite a few Sauers started out here.
Yes,
and
the
then-
first family were Sauers, and they eventually had 10 children, and actually all 10 of those did make it into adulthood.
Okay.
And
Good.
so, but Sauers actually sold in 1900, moved out here in 1869, started building that rock and log building, started farming, and eventually they had 10 children, so that building over there, actually for 3 years, there were 10 children and 2 adults in there.
Oh wow, the
And
very
he was
first
a rock
one.
mason also, Mr. Sauer, so he built all the stone structures, but he also built this 2-story part. And around late 80s, that's actually when this was finished, and then actually the children moved over here.
Oh, okay,
And
all right.
so the girls slept downstairs, boys upstairs. Went fine until about 1900, and they'd all gotten married and moved away. And actually, the only relationship with LBJ, no relationship at all, but one of the daughters, Augusta, married a Lyndon down here, and it's still in the Lyndon farm. She was a midwife and actually delivered LBJ.
Oh, wow, wow, okay.
So when they sold everything, they moved up to Doss, which is northwest of here, about 20 miles, close to their older son. Sold to the Beckmans, the second family. And then the Beckmans lived in this 2-story part in those 4 rooms. It was actually 2 brothers. A dad had bought it for the 2 sons. One finally bought the other one out, promised his wife he'd build her a nice house. Her friends was like, I don't think so. He's just a cotton farmer. You're just going to live in those log cabins your whole life. She finally married him, and then what put him over the edge was World War I started. So that cotton they were raising in 1915 basically went from like 4 cents to 19 cents.
Yeah,
And actually went up, depends, if you look at all the times, it went up higher than that, you know, all the way up to around
Right.
1918, till the war was over. So with what they saved and made, that's when they started building this Victorian house around 1915. Put this breezeway in at that time, dog truck, and then converted this into the kitchen, and it stayed that way even after she got electricity, which was 1945 here. She still had her kitchen over here.
oh, wow, very, very
So the
cool.
state bought it. Actually, one of the daughters, Emma, was still living in here, and she sold to Parks and Wildlife in '66, moved out in '67, and then we started renovations because everything was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, at the
It's just like
time.
any other farm. You know,
Yeah.
those log cabins had become storage units, and the barn hadn't much done to it, and so.
I always said his family immigrated through Texas as opposed to like from the East Coast.
All
Yeah.
of these did, yeah.
Yeah,
So they might have been with the same
Yeah,
lineager.
yeah,
Gordon Sauer is still a lawyer, and they have a title company. There's still quite a few Sauers in town,
Yeah.
and quite a few up around the Doss area still.
yeah.
And
Well,
around
they
down
made it to
Fresno.
Missouri, so,
So, yeah.
Some of them
They
still
were
speak
probably a
German.
relative somewhere. You
I
know.
bet so.
yep,
What
because
time
that's
did
where,
they come? When did they come?
I don't.
You don't
Yeah.
know. All these came around 46,
Yeah.
1845 to 1846.
So I think they were 40-70 or
Yeah,
46
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was pretty much generally
I think
the,
that was a big time.
because
there.
the Sauers were actually born in Germany, came as children, and then eventually when they
yeah,
got older they bought this out here.
yeah.
So,
Well, like I said, our grandmother was a Sauer, and then she married a Wiesman.
a Beastman or a Leaseman?
Wiesman,
Wiesman.
with a V.
I don't have that one.
Our maiden name is Strauss,
Okay.
S-T-R-A-U-C-H.
Okay.
That was our father's name, of course, and then our mother was a Stieferman.
Oh.
So we come from strong German
I was like, you got
heritage.
some strong names there. You did.
Yeah, well, Grandma was a Sauer, married
Yeah.
a Strauss, and then she married a Beastman. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, my
yeah,
last name is Itz. My mother was a Metzger, but we had Schmitzinski's and Durst also. He's a Kinnicky.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
just a kid.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
You got my same relatives.
Yeah.
Now this part over here we can go
Yes,
into,
everything
is that
else is
correct?
open, so make
Okay,
yourself at home.
thank you
you.
so much. So as you walk in the front door, you have your hat rack. And the parlor is off here to the right.
Were you asking me, Daniel? Daniel, you can surprise me.
So here in the parlor, there is a table with the claw feet, the iron claw feet. That looks very, very much like the one that my dad gave me from my grandma Beesman's home. Grandma Beesman was a Sauer, and then she married a Strauss, and then she married a Beesman. So I always knew it was Grandma Beesman. But her grandma's maiden name was Sauer, and then she married a Strauss, and had my dad and my aunt, and then she married a Beesman. But this looks very much like the table out of her old farmhouse, and my dad gave it to me with the understanding that I could never get rid of it. And I still have it. So, all right. It's a beautiful parlor. Here's a twin bed. Child's crib.
You're fine. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you. So this dresser looks very much like the one our brother Stephen has from our grandma's house. And another bedroom. Oh, look at that beautiful headboard. So pretty. Dresser. Beautiful. Sewing machine. Look at that sewing machine. Our mom used to sew. Wardrobe. Wash basin. Actually, that's called a dry sink. Oh, that's a beautiful master bedroom. All right, so they started out in the log cabin over there, and then they moved to this section, and then later on this section was added. So, and then this section over here became the summer kitchen, as they would say. So the kitchen is actually in that part, but the kitchen also serves as their living quarters type, so you don't really go into that part. But we got to see all of that part, and it was really, really cool. So, all right. So I'm not going to get too close, guys, but look at the size of that bull. Whew, he's a big one. He's like posing for us. He's like, yes, look how big I am. All right, well, we're headed out of the Sauer Beckman farm, and we'll see what's on down the road next. Oh, is this where the bison park is at then?
It's supposed to be.
Okay.
She said they're usually by the thing, but it is also noon, so
Yeah.
it might be. They might not be down here.
There's a great big bison statue here where the bison herd is supposed to be.
I don't see anything else.
No, I don't. I see the statue and that's it. So they're probably roaming and grazing somewhere else.
Yep. We'll stop and eat something.
Yep.
think I'm gonna make my schnitzel into a sandwich.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have our schnitzels that we had left over from yesterday for lunch.
So I am.
I think I am too, now that you said that. I forgot I still have chicken schnitzel. So,
We'll just pull in here and eat.
yeah,
Sound
there's
good?
a nice sunny one. Yep. There's a sunny park place if we wanted to go out. But I think I'd rather just eat.
It's probably all wet. I was gonna say, it's probably all wet anyways.
Yeah,
There's like nobody here.
I know. We are like the only tourists today. Okay, so we just had an excellent lunch. And now we're headed on down the road. We're passing the Sauer Beckman history farm here, but we're headed on down to explore more about Lyndon B. Johnson. So we'll be at the historic site pretty soon.
This might have been where Gladys was taking me.
So we're leaving the state park, right? And we're headed for the LBJ
National
National Historic Park.
statue there.
Yep. That must be the river.
Pedernales, is that how she said it?
Yeah, I think.
I read about it in the book, but I didn't know how to say it.
It's a really pretty drive. Oh, we are seeing some bison over here. That's why we didn't see them earlier up there where the bison statue was at, Jody, because they're down here taking a nap in the
Exactly.
sunshine.
You can make me a shot. Just a photo.
There we go.